of our new TNT champion, and you, yes, you, right now are listening to the
Bob Culture Podcast.
Bob Culture Podcast.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Nothing between the lines of the page or out of time. Forgiveness is for angels, but this angel fell out of line. That's in no second chance or redemption can be found. 'Cause you can't run the devil and the devil is running you down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into a very special Machine Gun Money edition of the BCP. Very excited, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome in ahead of his match against BLK JEEZ. I believe it's going to be Saturday, April 16th, this Saturday in Union, New Jersey for Project Codename Wrestling. Shameless promo. Tickets are still available. Get them right now. And guys, please welcome to the show. He is a former BCW. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Tag team champion with our good friend, Chris Barton. He is Mr. Machine Gun Money himself, our good friend, Mr. Dominick Denaro. Mr. Denaro, welcome in, sir. How are you?
How's it going, Rob? Thanks for having me on.
Dude, I really wanted to talk to you, man, after seeing you. I feel like in this Northeast bubble, I work for so many promotions that sometimes like I'm kind of an outsider when it comes to other promotions, and just linking up with you at BCW and now Project Codename Wrestling. I was very impressed by your work. When I had an option to have someone from Project Codename come on, I wanted to have you on. I got to meet you before the show. And I was just blown away I was doing camera work at BCW, and I was blown away by how you worked the cameras and the intensity you came out with, man. I mean, what is your philosophy there? Do you kind of like do the Jericho, or you target the cameras, or you just like got the gift of gab, or like what's your philosophy there?
Listen, if you see me before I come out the curtain, very subtle, not a word, calm.
Okay.
Once the music hits, a completely different animal. I have the ability to switch it on and off whenever I want. So, we had a chip on our shoulder that night, and we wanted to make, an impact. So once that music hit, it fired me up, and I just took off.
Hell of a match, man. I was very impressed. And you mentioned that entrance and coming from behind the curtain. That's another thing. Like when you work a lot of these shows, man, and especially from a production standpoint, I pay attention to the little things like song choice or what you do or working the cameras or the crowd reaction, man. And you and Barton, man, when you guys came through that curtain, man, just the energy level, love you, hate you, whatever the crowd does, that energy level, man. Like what was the thought process going into picking that song or what you guys do for the entrance? Because it is all about the little things.
It is about the little things. We came up with that song rather quickly. Chris gave me 3 options because we were short on time. We didn't want to come out to the Modern Family theme, and that's what they were threatening people with.
Nice.
He sent me 3 songs, and that one fired me up that morning for work. So I was like, let's go with this. And going back to you talking about working the cameras, that was just something that was always, beaten into us by our trainers and stuff like that. So, we always try our best to, I don't want to pull the curtain back, but, work the cameras as much as possible,
No, and from a production standpoint, it makes all the difference in the world. I see some of these great
cameras for a reason, man.
Yeah. And it's not a knock on anybody. I just see a lot, especially just like a lot of the up and comers, some of these kids that are so athletically gifted, but I'm just like, got to work the cameras, guys, a little bit. And that's just me. I am not a wrestler by any means, but just from a production standpoint, man. So I appreciate that, man, very much. We do got to talk about the match, though. Obviously, you guys took the L to Blonde Force Trauma. It was a great match. We had Schwann involved. We had AJ Pan involved. There was a lot of moving parts. I saw Ray.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, as I like to say.
I mean, there really were. We saw Mr. Kalitri on the outside there, a friend of the show. Yeah, I mean, a little tension after the match between you and Chris Barton. Just kind of, there's the backstage interviewer in me, but your kind of thoughts on the aftermath of all that, your feelings after losing the belts there and kind of a falling out with one of your best friends.
Well, let's just say me and Chris have made up since then. As for losing those titles, look, we put those girls through hell. Some would say we took liberty on them. And at the end of the day, they outsmarted us. So, I tip my hats to them, and I congratulate them, and I wish them the best on their next title defense. As for AJ Penn, I'm not done with you. Ray Kalitri, I'm not done with you by a long shot. When I see you, kid, your fucking teeth are going to get rearranged. You hear me?
Wow.
Yeah, whenever it happens, it's going to happen. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I see the intensity you bring to the ring, and let's talk about that now. We talked about the entrance, all that. When you're between the ropes, and again, hell of a match, guys. I think it's on Title Match Network. Check that out right now. BCW Queen of the North 3, I believe it is. Talk to me about your philosophy.
Also up on YouTube as well. Sorry to cut you off.
Yes, it was. That's right. I just saw that. Yeah, and thank you, man. So check it out on YouTube for free as well. Shameless promo, all about it, man. But when you're between those ropes, man, what's your mindset? Is it just bring the intensity, man? Because we always use the hashtag always a heel. I see you being kind of one of those guys, but you're so good in the ring too.
Well, it states back to something William Regal said, and this is a sport. This is a competition. Okay, you're going in there to win. If you don't win, you don't get the higher salary cap. You may not feed your family. So I go in there with the intent to win. This isn't a game to me. I know there's all different styles of wrestling, but you can consider mine dead ass style.
Yeah, there it is. Short and sweet. I respect it. And obviously no small task. I believe this Saturday it is BLK JEEZ you're going against. Correct me if I'm wrong. At Project Codename Wrestling. I saw the promo, man. We talk about that intensity. Your thoughts going into that one?
Man, listen, I just heard his promo. If you haven't, go check it out. It's on all social media platforms. And he's definitely right, man. I am definitely in a position where he can either make or break me. But that he thinks that's getting to my head. And like I said before, I'm not one of these little kids in this business. I'm 35 years old, all right? I've been through it all on the streets. I'm lucky I'm still alive. All right, so this is just a walk in the park for me. He says he's a Philly legend. I think very low of Philly, all right? What's he going to come up to me and smack me like Will Smith, all right? With that little bitch slap, I'll fucking rock his shit, man. It's going to be a fight, like he said, not a wrestling match.
Not a fan of Philly. Where are you from originally?
I'm from South Brooklyn, New York.
I figure Brooklyn guy. Okay,
technically it's Red Hook.
I got you, man. I got the Nets on upstairs. They better win this play-in tonight. Are you Knicks guy or Nets guy?
I am actually not a sports guy.
Okay, good. All right, well, good for you, man. I always ask this one. I know it's the hard-hitting questions here. I hear DeFaro's a lot in Brooklyn. What's the pizza spot?
For me?
Yeah.
I like L&B.
L&B?
Gardens, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll write that one down.
Dude, if you haven't had that, go there and get the upside down pie. It's the grandma pie.
Love the grandma slice. Yes,
you're gonna have to eat the whole pie. You're not gonna want one or two. I'm telling you.
Wow.
You go there, you get a pie.
As soon as you said grandma slice, I knew what you're talking. I knew you knew what you're talking about, man. Very well said, man.
I think they if not originated, they popularized it in Brooklyn.
That's awesome, man. And just getting to know you, man. I try to stay away from the cliche stuff, but I really do want to know, man, how you said you're 35 years old, doing this for a while, man. You definitely, we always say, I don't know what it is, but he's got it, man. I love the intensity that you bring to the ring, man. Were you a fan growing up? How did this start for you, man? And is there someone like maybe you put like, I don't want to say Ultimate Warrior, but is there like someone that you pull from like for that intensity?
I don't pull from the Ultimate Warrior for my intensity, but I'll tell you one thing. As a kid, I was definitely drawn to him.
Yeah.
He was my guy. And it was mostly out of fear because I thought he was going to come and get me while I was sleeping.
Yeah, that's fair.
Intense, So maybe I do derive a little bit of my intensity from, subconsciously from Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
I've been a lifelong fan. I always grew up with the WWE, and back in Brooklyn we had the Hot Box. I don't know if you're familiar with what that is.
No.
It was like a legal cable box where you get all the free pay-per-views, and
okay.
If you flip the channel in the back, you got the nudie channels. But so I always had access to Nitro and WWF pay-per-views. So I would watch both on Monday nights and Thursday nights and Friday nights, whenever it was. And then also have access to all those pay-per-views for free. So, I watched everything as a kid.
So who else? You mentioned you had your eyes on Ultimate Warrior and you're afraid he's going to come get you. But who else were you really like drawn to?
As a kid, Austin, Road Dogg, just the brawler types, Mankind. You know, those were definitely my guys. Like, if you want to go back to like '96 and stuff like that, I'd say I was a Shawn Michaels fan over a Bret Hart fan. You know, for his showmanship and just the way he would sell things and just make everything look larger than life. You know, he made everyone look good.
Do you keep up with the current product today and everything going on?
To be quite honest, I mean, I went to Mania both nights and enjoyed the card top to bottom.
Yes.
I thought they did a phenomenal job. But I haven't been keeping up with much because, you know, just work and the gym. I get home, I'm exhausted. I want to play a little Elden Ring or watch some TV with my girl.
Okay.
Or, you know. But yeah, like I'll try to catch NXT. I like NXT. Not too many people favor it. I like what they're doing with it, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
They got a lot of interesting talent down there, you know, and it's just growing pains, just like everything, you know.
Yeah, it's cool.
WWE go through it every 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, dude. It's cool to see who's popping up, man. So many things I want to ask you, dude. I did see that you went to Dallas. I think you put on Twitter, you're like, you know, screw it, I'm going to Dallas, man. What was that experience like for you, man? And you know, we're very critical. We do our predictions panels, we do our reviews of all the shows and stuff like that. We try to keep up with everything, and we call it right down the middle. But I have to say, I mean, they promoted it as the most spectacular WrestleMania. It was damn good show both nights. Very entertaining, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of surprises. The production, like we talked about earlier, man, what was it like for you being there, man, as someone who, let's be real, you want to be on that stage?
Yeah, I definitely want to be on that stage. You know, who's to say if I will because of my age, but it's definitely still a goal that'll never derail my goals and dreams. You know, there's plenty of places to work, but I would love to work for the WWE. It was definitely inspiring to go. It wasn't my first Mania. I think my first Mania was when it was The Rock and Cena at MetLife.
Yeah, MetLife when they were here. Yeah, I was there. Yeah,
that was my first. And then I think I also went to the one in New Orleans when I was working production with WWN.
Really? Oh, so you were involved with what they had like Evolve and all. WWN was under that
before the collective. Yes, WWN had the WWN Experience, which had, you know, the GCW shows.
Yes,
Progress, and then all the WWN shows and Kaiju, Big Battle.
You said you worked in production.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was on ring crew and I was also cable wrangler for all the shows and all days, so it was like pretty strenuous.
Okay, well, that's
front row seats to all the shows, so it was
there. You go. That's probably why you knew where to find the cameras and all that stuff because you
definitely. Actually, you know what? I didn't even think of that, but yeah, because I was right there with Richie Ruiz and the kid Brandon. And they had the headsets on, so I would hear them getting yelled at and where they're going and stuff like that. Know where to stay out of the way, but you're always just watching where people are just moving towards, and it's mostly towards the cameras.
That's why that's what it says. You know where they are because there's like usually is the camera people. You have the roaming, the hard cam, all that stuff. The bigger companies have the crane cams. Like our job is to kind of target you guys, and there's few guys like I mentioned Chris Jericho earlier. He targets the cameras he makes them come to him, man. Like he knows where they are at all times, man. And that's probably you because you always had the cables, man. You were very good at finding the cameras, man. That's super interesting to me, man.
You know, my first couple of years, it was just my mouth was closed and my eyes were open, and so were my ears. You know, I was just listening and absorbing all the information I could.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And I always like to ask, you mentioned obviously WWE as a goal, but it's very cool to see in this climate, man. During a pandemic, no less, man. I have never seen more people or friends that I know succeed on a professional level or get to a professional level in a sport or sports entertainment as I have in wrestling, man. It's very cool to see. We have all our indie talent, 8x10s over here. We always try to support everyone. And when they get signed, we put them over here, man. And we just have so many people, man, that we've moved over the past 2 years, even during this pandemic, man. It's been crazy. There's been opportunity, whether it's NXT, whether it's AEW. Now we see ROH has just been bought, man. It's so cool to see, man. Are you kind of savvy to that, man? Is there, I don't want to be cliche and go like, which company is it going to be, man? Is it who offers you the contract? We've heard people say they want to open a school. We hear people say they just want to go to Japan, man. Like what's the future look like for you, man? Because it can come true. I've seen so many people succeed. It's crazy.
I feel like at this point in my career, I just want to get to the next level of the indies and really prove myself, against the best talent they got out there, because there's tons of them. I can't even start name dropping. But if I was to get picked up, I'd love to go to a place like Impact or New Japan Strong, someplace that it doesn't have as much buzz or has like the most potential to be like the best thing and bring my talents there. And if it's, my intensity and my character work that can help elevate them, more power to that. But
yeah, I could see
those
you.
are definitely places I would like to go to.
Yeah, no, that's a great choice, man. I mean, I could see you working anywhere, but Impact, that's an interesting one, man. I could see you going toe-to-toe with guys like Macklin and all that. That would be very interesting, man. I would love to see that. The real winners, the fans, like we always say here, man. Well, good luck to you, man. That's awesome to hear. I got to ask you about this, man. I saw you posted a couple gym photos, no days off. What are the workouts looking like, man? You're in fantastic shape, man. You put in a lot of time there.
Yeah, it's not just the workouts; it's consistent diet, and it's also the consistency of the workouts too. Yeah, I try not to kill myself, but I go 4 days a week. As of recently, I've been going 2 days, 2 days. So I've been going on my lunch break, and then I've been going after work, so I could target a certain body part in that specific time, instead of just banging it all out at once. I could like conserve my energy, refuel, and then give it my all. But yeah, I try to do at least 2 hours of gym per session.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, man. It became a lifestyle after like post-COVID. Once gym started opening up again, it started with me running. I would go on treadmill, and I just got addicted to running, and then it really started messing my knees up.
Yeah.
So I went downstairs and I just started figuring out like how to really define my body, and it's coming along. It took a while to like start seeing the results, but then once they started coming in, the ball started rolling with them.
Yeah, no, man, you're in great shape. Yeah, dude. For me, after yeah, I hate to tell you this, man. For me, after 35, man, that's when I'm like, oh, my knees are kind of like achy, man. Like I'm living more by like the 3-point line these days, man.
Yeah, I wear a knee brace, to work.
Yeah,
on my feet all day,
That's it, man. But speaking of the 3-point line, man, we got to talk about basketball. Not only you being a part of that, man, it was great, but I got to thank you, man. You were a big part of helping us raise money for the cause with our auction and stuff, man. Tell us what it meant to you to be part of that great thing by Shane Fair, and I hope to do it again.
As a kid, I played, in all sorts of sports leagues and stuff like that. So, like, I thought to give back to something like that was a very generous thing to, like, to my past. And it's just for Shane Fair. He's just like genuinely a great dude. And he's came to my, when I was running MVW, he would come up there without a question. He'd come up there with food that he cooked, and he would give it his all, no matter how ridiculous our themes may be at times. And, I could never repay him. So that was just a small gesture that I could do. I still think I owe him, And then I couldn't even make the game because I was a little under the weather. So I didn't want to like risk anybody's health because COVID was still
in this climate. Yeah.
Yeah, but I still got my uniform. So hopefully next game, I'll be in there.
You earned it for sure. Did you very casually say that you ran a promotion or you had a promotion? MVW. You don't have to go into it if you don't want to. I just didn't know that.
It's not like that I ran it. It was a conjunction between me and False Finish Productions. Mm-hmm. We all live relatively close to where I moved upstate, and we're all just hanging out, and it's mostly theirs. It was like a resurrection of their former production. So I had a ring, I had this land up here, and we just put it up there. We built like basically a stage. So we built like some foam walls to look like cement walls, so it looked like a ruin. We had Mother Endless be the host.
Oh, sure. She's great.
Yeah, and we had some bangers, man. Like, you should definitely go look up Mid Valley Wrestling. We have some great matches between Gabriel Sky and Griffin McCoy. Those are the first like matches you'll start to see the big Buford Desmond Cole like really do his thing. A couple of guys really found themselves during that time, and I'm really glad that I was able to like put that out there because a lot of people didn't know where to go with COVID when it came to wrestling. Some people hit the road, but a lot of people felt lost, and I felt good to be able to like give that back to my friends and just like, hey, you guys can come up here and do your thing.
This is interesting to me, just putting the pieces together, because it's like you're involved in wrestling almost in all the ways, like in all forms or fashion.
I'm definitely not just a wrestler, dude. I'm a businessman.
Yeah, I can
I also rent rings and entranceways and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. I got 2 rentals this week, and I have to wrestle in the main event at Project Codename Wrestling. So
Good for you, man. That's awesome. And we'll get the shameless promo in so people can get the rings from you too at the end, man.
Absolutely. You know, it's about serving first. You know, so I just, however I could serve a promotion, you know, and show them that, you know, I'm worthy of my spot and my payday. You know, that's the way I was taught.
Yeah. I love that, man. A lot of respect there, man. That's really interesting to me. I'm always very critical of all like the and you don't have to comment on this, but all the promoter drama and all that stuff. At the end of the day, to me, all y'all are independent contractors. You can work wherever the heck you want. It's all about putting smiles on faces, daddy-daughter dates, taking your kid to show to escape the real world, man. And I hate all this drama and promoter stuff that I see, especially this week.
See, like I said, as you know, I was a promoter for a bit, so I know what it's like to like want to invest a storyline into a character that you don't know if he's going to be free that day because you're running a double show and nobody wants to double book people unless it's like they have to. But then again, you'll have half the roster double booked on another show, and how are they going to sell seats? You know, put asses in these seats if they got to put asses in those seats as well. You know,
ding ding ding,
double-edged sword. You know.
Yeah, I never understood. Again, I'm not a promoter. I'm just commenting.
I'm sure there's more childish regions. This is like high school. The drama's like high school. It's ridiculous.
It did pretty much. No disrespect. But again, I'm always looking out for the talent, man. And at the end of the day, it's all about hashtag smiles on faces, man. So that's very interesting that you've done all of these things. Obviously, working with TJ. We've had him on the show a couple times. I like the way his mind works. He knows what he's doing. We always talk to everyone about the Thanos belt collector thing because that's been a thing. We didn't even know TJ at that point in time, and people just kept bringing up his name and calling him out. And I'm just like, it's because he has all the heavyweight championships, and it's a great story. We've seen Kenny Omega do it. Some people hate on it. What's your thought on the whole belt collector thing? We've seen a lot of people do it in the Indies.
Well, one of the belts he has is mine, so.
Oh, okay.
And I once dethroned him, and I will again. And just, you know, hopefully that match goes up on IWTV soon. But back in the Bronx, I was one of the very few people that could take him off his feet and keep him off his feet. When I want to, I'll pull out some very innovative moves that till this day you don't see. So, you know, I got tricks up my sleeve for whoever's got, you know, for Black Jeez, whoever it may be. I had him for Darius Carter. Look what happened to him. I took his title.
I was going to say, and that's a perfect segue right here. Are you kind of targeting individual, like Darius Carter was going to be one of the first names that came out of my mouth. That dub over Darius Carter speaks for itself right then and there, man. Are there people that you are targeting? Are there heavyweight championships that you're targeting? Do you want to regain tag gold? Is it about the matches? Is it about working with someone you came up with? We also see a lot of this AEW talent coming to the indies here and there. You could fight someone from the Dark Order. You can fight Jay Lethal, like everywhere, man. It's so cool to see. Hashtag opportunity, my favorite word, man. What's kind of your mindset? Like, who do you want to face off with?
I want to face off with everyone, you know, the best of the best. But that's up to the promoters to book. So I'm not going to go, you know, calling shots. I'm just there to prove that I'm here to stay and that I can hang with anybody, you know. So
love that.
Line them up and I'll knock the fuck out of them. And that's. I got a very meat and potato style, as they say.
I like it, man. Hey, man, I noticed you. And that's the thing, man. You go to a lot of these shows, man, and you see people who stand out, man. And you were definitely that one that stood out. I wanted to have you on, man. And I don't want to blow you up with wrestling, like we always do here. We always like to talk about non-wrestling stuff. You mentioned Elden Ring. Are you a big gamer? Are you a musician? Are you an artist? Like outside of wrestling, man, what are you into?
Well, I used to be a filmmaker. So,
dude, you're going to be running a promotion, I think, man.
I actually thought about going back into filming and maybe even doing some stunt work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it goes hand in hand with this business. So why not?
Yes,
you know, that's great to fall back on. You know, benefits. So like I love movies. You know, I love watching all different types of movies, every genre. I love video games. I don't have so much time to play them. My girl's like almost borderline freaking pro gamer in there. She's playing Apex Legends right now, just destroying people.
Nice.
So, I love my games, but I'm more of a story-based game guy, like Ghost of Tsushima. I liked Elden Ring, is really great. I'm just digging deep into that right now. What else am I playing? I'm gonna start the new Assassin's Creed that came out, Valhalla. Not too, you know.
I've heard good things. Do you play any of the wrestling games or the 2K? Just because you obviously wrestle.
I used to. After a while, I felt like every year they were changing the controls.
Yeah, they did it again this year. It's good though.
Me off. The last one with Daniel Bryan on the cover was the last one I bought. I played it for like an hour, and I was like, I'm done with this game.
Yeah.
I couldn't even return it because I broke the seal. I was so pissed.
You talk about being a big movie guy, man. I don't want to make you pick your favorite movie, but could you give me a top 3? Like, again, if you appreciate film, you said any genre. A lot of my top 10 are comedies. I'm not going to lie. Can you give me a top 3 or give me a vibe for like your favorite movies?
All right, I'll give you like an art house pick. I'll give you a horror movie.
Ooh, okay.
And then I'll give you just like genuinely one of my favorite movies. So for my art house pick, it's going to be Seven Samurai.
Oh, okay.
For my horror film, it's obviously going to be Halloween, the original. And for a movie that I could just watch at any given time, Casino.
Okay. Look at you. Those are good choices, man. I love that.
I'm telling you this, if you know, I just had to pick those because I can keep going and just like, oh, every movie's my favorite movie.
No, I'm glad you appreciate it. Any favorite like actors or actresses that like you have to see something if they're in it?
I mean, I appreciate everything Leonardo DiCaprio does these days, you know.
See, I'm weird on Leo, but go ahead. I'll tell you in a minute, but go ahead.
No, you know, I'm not saying like he's the greatest actor, but I just feel like he's tied to some really good projects. I mean,
yes.
Inception was okay. It didn't. I don't think he fit that role. But I like weird movies like Shutter Island. Like I thought that was a very underrated movie by his. I loved him in Wolf of Wall Street.
He was great. And so I am not the biggest DiCaprio fan. I always feel like everyone loves him and he's worthy of a lot of these awards and stuff, but I was never on the DiCaprio train. I always felt like he was like a stage actor in like these motion pictures, man. Like the way he acts, it's, you know, like, he's playing a president or he's playing like an old timey person, man. Like it always seemed like stage acting to me. That being said, Wolf of Wall Street, he was fantastic. Catch Me If You Can. It's one of my favorite movies. So I'm
absolutely.
like contradicting myself, but that's a fair pick. Leo, you can't go wrong with Leo, man. The resume speaks for itself for sure.
And then I like, you know, you got guys like William Dafoe. That's just like timeless. That guy will just keep putting out fucking amazing roles, no matter who he is. He's going to be Nosferatu next. That's going to be.
Are you kidding? That's right. Did you see the new Spider-Man with him?
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, that movie was just too much fan service, and I don't think it really played to the story, like to where this next segue of movies is going, like this I guess Secret Wars, where they're going. I don't know, whatever Doctor Strange is bringing it. I thought that they could have took a different approach to this instead of made this movie the way it was.
I see what you're saying.
Too much fan service in terms of getting the Peter Parkers together, you know. And I don't know. I thought that movie was a little too long too.
Okay, I got you, man. I'll give you this. A lot of fan service in a lot of those movies, like Ghostbusters. I ate all of it up, man.
See, Ghostbusters. I started to watch on the plane. I actually got to finish it, but I really enjoyed, like the first 40 minutes of that movie. I thought it was well done and well paced. Like
good. All right, finish that one.
I'm a big Paul Rudd fan. Anything he's in, I'll watch.
Oh, done. Yeah, there you go. You won't get an argument from me on that one, man. This is one I always like to ask everyone who comes on the show, man. And thank you for taking the time, bro. You were literally at Mania a couple times. We always ask everyone this one. You get your WrestleMania moment. You are walking down the ring to face your opponent. What band or artist is playing you down to the ring? Living, dead, legends? Who would you pick?
Oh my God, I can get legends.
Like if you have a favorite band or someone you listen to when you work out, like even if you have a song, like. Yeah,
man. Now this is hard. This is the toughest question I've got hit with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you ever ask Barton, it's just like I am the worst. Like I'll always come out to a different song because I can't pick one.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You know, it would be pretty dope to have Griselda come out with me though. I do listen to a lot of hip hop, and Griselda, they're very influenced on from wrestling in their raps. So I thought maybe if they can come up with some custom Dominick Denaro song, that'd be pretty awesome.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's it. You got to brand yourself, man. Smart man. You know the business, man. You're killing it. Mr. Denaro, I want to be respectful of your time, man. But before we get out of here, I got to ask you this one, man. We asked about the goals moving forward. You've done this for a while, man. I noticed you coming through the curtain. Like I keep saying, man, you brought that intensity. You can get the hate from the crowd. You can get the love from the crowd, whatever it is, man. Put on stellar matches, man. We have a lot of these kids that are training right now, a lot of up and comers. They're trying to get heat from the crowd. They're trying to get over from or with the crowd, or they're just trying to connect with the crowd, man. What advice would you have for some of these up and comers right now?
You know, it's different for everyone. So it's hard to like broaden that statement into a, but just, you know, try to be you, but not you. Like, it's weird. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Be an extension of yourself, but try to be as different as possible, you know, because there's a lot of the same out there.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going stale on this one. Yeah.
No,
just keep like whatever your doubts in your head may be, like, because we all go through them in this business, whether it be like we don't think we're good enough or we are injury prone or whatever. Just keep going.
Yeah. I love that.
It's all natural. We all go through it. And, you know, if you want it bad enough, you can attain whatever you want.
We've seen it, man. Very, very well said, man. And the same goes for you, man, in any fashion, whether it's in the ring, out of the ring, man, you could do it all. But before we get out of here, we are all about that shameless promo here on the BCP. Tell everyone where they can follow you on socials, book you to get a ring. You do the ring rentals too, man. If you got merch, all that good stuff.
All right, well, you know, all tickets available for all my shows get updated, and you can go to my link tree at Dominick Denaro, and you can get any tickets from now until June to the shows I'm booked on. I update it often. I put my podcasts up there so you can listen to previous podcasts. You'll be able to listen to this podcast. I'm working on a merch store. I'm working on an LLC right now, so we'll be working on that.
Ooh, okay.
It's at Instagram. It's Dominick_Denaro. It's Dominick Denaro flat out on Twitter and on Facebook.
Done deal.
Yeah, and check out my YouTube page. I try to upload daily content or weekly content, whether it be a promo or a match that I got my hands on from a recent, you know, show. So
awesome, man. But no, dude, thank you so much for making the time, man. I really appreciate it. Good luck with your match against BLK JEEZ this Saturday, guys. Tickets are available for Project Codename Wrestling, and just continue success moving forward, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely, dude. Thank you.
Thank you. And like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We out.